All right, let's just jump right into it with a huge question. What if you could build a football team so deadly, so packed with goal scorers in every single position that they were pretty much guaranteed to score every time they stepped on the pitch? What's going on, everyone? Welcome to SportsX Radar. Today, we're not just dreaming. Oh no, we are actually building the Champions League all-time top scorers 11. We've gone through all the stats to find the most lethal finisher for every single spot on the field. I'm talking defenders who can outscore legendary strikers in a front line that has just completely shattered every record you can think of. And that brings me to my first little challenge for you all. Thinking about this, I've got to ask. I want to know your pick. Drop it in the comments right now. I'll be reading through them and hearting the best ones. And hey, if you love breaking down stats and building all-time teams like this, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button to join the SportsX Radar crew. You are not going to want to miss what we've got coming up. All right, you ready? Let's build this monster of a team. Okay, so we're starting from the back, building this team in a classic 4-4-2 formation. But listen, this is not just any defensive wall. Think of it more like a launch pad. It's a foundation built by legends who were a constant, and I mean constant, threat going forward. In goal, it has to be him, the man who basically defined an entire era, Iker Casillas. Now, obviously, keepers don't score goals, but his record 177 appearances and an insane 57 clean sheets, that's the rock-solid security this team needs to just unleash hell going forward. He's the calm and the center of the storm. Now, for the engines of our attack out wide, we've got two Brazilians who completely changed what it means to be a fullback. On the right, the relentless Dani Alves, and on the left, the man with an actual cannon for a left foot, Roberto Carlos. These guys aren't just defenders, they're our primary source of chaos. And the numbers, they just speak for themselves. Roberto Carlos blasted in 16 goals. A lot of them were those physics-bending free kicks. Dani Alves, with 12 of his own, played more like an extra winger, constantly overlapping and giving defenders nightmares. With these two flying up the pitch, our midfielders can cut inside, creating absolute chaos for the other team. And now for the very heart of our defense. Our center-back pairing, it features two of the fiercest rivals in modern football, who, funny enough, shared one incredible skill, scoring massive, crucial goals. We've got Gerard Piqué paired with the ultimate big game player, Sergio Ramos. You know, what's so wild here is that you're looking at the highest scoring defender in the history of the competition, Gerard Piqué, with 16 goals, and right next to him with 15 goals is Sergio Ramos, the undisputed king of the last-minute header, snatching trophies from the jaws of defeat. Every single set piece becomes a genuine goal threat. Just let that number sink in for a second. 59. Our back four has a combined total of 59 goals. That is more than some world-class strikers score in their entire Champions League careers. This defense doesn't just prevent goals, it goes out and scores them. So, I have to ask you, it's the 93rd minute, one last corner to win it all. Which of these four defenders are you banking on to get their head on it? Piqué's smarts, Ramos's sheer will, Carlos's power, or Alves sneaking in at the back post? Drop your pick in the comments. All right, let's fire up the engine room. Okay, moving up the pitch into our midfield. We have put together an engine room that mixes pure tactical genius with an absolutely ruthless hunger for goal. We're not talking about slow, patient build-up here. This is a four-man wrecking crew designed for destruction. On the right, we've got Thomas Müller, the Raumdeuter, or space interpreter. Out on the left, the legendary Spanish poacher Raúl. And holding down the center, a duo of English powerhouses, the long-range bomber Paul Scholes and the master of the late run into the box, Frank Lampard. And here's where it just gets insane. Look at the volume and the variety of these goals. Raúl, who often drifted in from the left, set the standard with 71 goals. Muller's almost supernatural gift for finding space got him 54. And in the middle? Just imagine Scholes hitting one of his thunderbolts from 30 yards out, and then Frank Lampard arriving perfectly on time to smash in the rebound. This midfield doesn't just help the attack, it is the attack. I mean, that is just a ridiculous amount of firepower from midfield. Which gets me thinking, do you think any of the modern guys, like a Jude Bellingham or a Kevin De Bruyne, will ever score enough to get on this list? Let me know what you think before we unleash the final bosses. And now we have arrived at the top of the mountain. The two names leading this attack aren't just incredible players. They are, without a doubt, the two greatest scoring machines to ever touch a football. For more than a decade, they turned the Champions League into their own personal playground. Of course, who else could it be? The ultimate rivalry that defined an entire generation of football. On one side, the magician himself, Lionel Messi, and leading the line, Mr. Champions League, Cristiano Ronaldo. Their constant battle to outscore each other just pushed them both into a whole other dimension. Let's just look at the numbers because, honestly, they're hard to even comprehend. Cristiano Ronaldo, the undisputed king of this competition, with a mind-blowing 140 goals. And right there with him, Lionel Messi with 129, making the toughest tournament in the world look easy. You combine them, that's 269 goals. From just two guys. Just think about that for a minute. With these two up front being fed by a midfield that scores for fun and supported by fullbacks who are basically wingers, the other team just wouldn't have a prayer. We are talking about a level of dominance that we might truly never, ever see again. Which, of course, leads us to the ultimate question, the one that splits friendships. It's the 90th minute. You get a penalty to save your life. Who are you giving the ball to? The ice-cool precision of Messi or the unbreakable nerves of steel of Ronaldo? Let the debate begin in the comments right now. So, there you have it. The team is complete. The most lethal, goal-heavy lineup that could ever exist has officially been built. This is a team so dominant, they don't just win games, they rewrite history books every time they play. And here it is, the final 11 in our 4-4-2. Just look at those goal totals next to their names. The game plan is so simple. It's just relentless, overwhelming attack. The fullbacks push up to provide the width, the midfielders crash the box from everywhere, and Messi drops a little deeper to create, leaving Ronaldo to be the ultimate goal poacher. It's just unstoppable. But that brings us to the final, biggest what if. If this god-tier scoring 11 went up against the greatest defensive team of all time, I'm talking Maldini, Baresi, Nesta, that kind of impenetrable wall, who actually wins that game? What would the final score be? I want to see your tactical breakdowns and score predictions in the comments. If you had a good time with this breakdown, make sure you're officially part of the Sports Radar crew. Hit that subscribe button and smash the like button. It really helps out the channel. And one last thing, drop your own Dream God Tier XI in the comments below. Thanks for watching, keep your eye on the radar, and we'll see you in the next one.